Stay tuned and let's take a look at this Marvel Legends Retro X-Men Spiral. Pow, and welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. As always, my name is Dan W. Make sure you are following me on Instagram at It's Dan Who, and remember now you can hit that join button and become a channel member as well. Either show some love or join the members club. Much appreciated. Today we are taking a look at the Marvel Legends Retro X-Men Wave. As in front of me, we have Spiral. Now, this is a highly anticipated release for new and old collectors, as this character came out during the dark days of Hasbro and wasn't easy to get back then, so it goes for a pretty penny on the aftermarket. So this single release is a great opportunity for many of us to add Spiral to our collections, and I'm hoping it's a bit of an upgrade as well. She's got 6 arms, all of them are double jointed and pinless by the looks of it. She's got 6 accessories, and she even comes with an interchangeable set of hands as well. So we get the Uncanny X-Men on the box, Sorcerer's Swords on the side, and again, they look great on the purple retro card. Bravo, long may it live. On the back, we get the other 5 figures you need in this X-Men Retro Wave, and then we get a write-up that reads: Spiral. Mojo's deadly enforcer possesses additional cybernetic limbs, powerful mystic abilities, and a deep enmity for a former flame, Longshot. So as I said, a lot of people are excited to see how this one looks out of the packaging. So let's wait no further and get her open. So here we have Spiral out of the packaging with all of her accessories, and it's nice to say that, and there actually be a decent amount of accessories with a figure. So she has 2 interchangeable hands for any of her 6 arms, and then 6 weapons. So all of her hands can be holding weapons, which will look epic, I am sure. But here she is standing there. All the arms move really nicely and freely. They are all double jointed and pinless. So yeah, I think people are going to be very happy with this. The whole figure itself is completely pinless as well, by the way, so we'll take a closer look. Of course we will. Let me just move them out of the way so I can get the tape measure out for a second, and you can see that she is all the way up to the top of her helmet, about 6.5, maybe just touching 6.5 to the top of the helmet, which is a decent size. No complaints at all. She is a decent villain in the comics as well. She has beaten many an Avenger and X-Men character, and she is of course the enforcer for Mojo. So a lot of us were very curious, like, why wasn't she in the Mojo World box set? Well, now we know they were saving that for a single release. So before we take a closer look and look at all of these accessories, let me try and explain for the new collectors, who's Spiral? Spiral was once a stunt woman from Earth called Rita Wayward, who met Longshot when he escaped the Mojoverse. However, Rita was captured by Mojo, tortured, brainwashed, and transformed into Spiral, a 6-armed sorceress, and forced to serve at Mojo's will. Her mind was forcefully evolved so she could see into other dimensions, teleport, and cast spells through elaborate dance. Skilled in combat with cybernetic arms and mystical abilities, Spiral has been a challenging foe for both X-Men and the Avengers. So let's zoom in and take a closer look at Spiral. You may recognise her from the Capcom games, and she was in a couple of the animated shows, but this figure is a great representation of her comic appearance, and I don't have the other one to do a comparison with, so I'm very happy to add this character to my collection. So looking at the head sculpt here, you can see the dark red lipstick, the whited out eyes, the darkness around the eyes with that sort of frowning evil expression. So I really like that with the digital face printing tech. You can see a couple strands of her grey hair sort of coming out of her helmet on the front here, which is nicely done. Again, the helmet is really nicely done as well in this chrome to match the chrome arm with the sculpted detail on it as well up top of a little bit of blue. And if you spin it around, you can see her grey hair sticking out the back as well. Now, when I first saw this, I thought the hair was there to sort of hide some sloppiness with the arms. But if I lift the hair up, you can see there is no sloppiness there at all. They have hid the arm sort of inside the shoulder joint very nicely. So the hair is out the back, and again there's a look at the helmet. But let's just pay attention to these arms, because I know that is what people are curious about. Let me zoom out just for a second. So all 3 of these arms work as a normal arm would do, and it's just like got all the articulation you would expect. They all move very freely from each other as well. They're all pinless, they're all double jointed. Somewhere Shartimus Prime is on the floor right now having a seizure, because after years of asking for double jointed pinless female arms, we now have a single figure with 6 of them. So yeah, very impressed. Let me see how all these work independently of each other. So as you can see, they are all in that one shoulder joint. So there's 3 pegs in there with 3 shoulders pegged in, and they all move freely on that joint. So all of these will move around. You just have to sort of get the other arm out of the way, but they will all go all the way around 360, no problem at all. They've all got the bicep swivel, 1, 2, 3, and then they've all got the double joint in the elbow, as you can see. 1, there is 2, and then you can just move the other arm out the way and get 3 as well. So look at that, all 3 arms, double jointed, pinless elbows, beautifully done. They've all got like this sort of chrome wrist gauntlet on as well, and then one of them has some sort of chrome bangles up top. But yeah, and what's great as well as an extra addition is that all of the hands have the up and down hinge because she holds swords, which makes so much sense. So all of these hands have the up and down hinge, so I'm happy to report that, and I will get a hold in her swords in a minute. But yeah, just wanted to show you that all these arms work freely, separate from each other, like they would a normal arm. All of them are pegged in there at the shoulder, separate shoulder joints for all of them. And yeah, just really well done. So can't wait to see what the sort of ACBA community do with this. She's going to pose up great. The other arm is, the other side is exactly the same. It's just that one of the arms is a cybernetic sort of sculpted arm. So you can see it's all chrome, and that has a fisted hand where all of the others have an open palm grip in hand. But they all, again, work freely from each other, all double jointed, all pinless. Even the cybernetic arm is double jointed and pinless as well, with that chrome detail to match the chrome of the helmet. So yeah, and all of this is on the upper torso as well, which is on that diaphragm joint, which is on a ball. So you actually get a little bit of back and a bit of forward as well. So decent range as well, bit of tilt too. So yeah, so good here. That belt is a separate piece, as you can see in the sort of brown, little bit of chrome there in the buckle. Spin it around to the back. You can see nice and clean, no sloppiness. She's got the thigh cut and the legs, double jointed, pinless knees as well. So again, look at that. The only reason she can't kick her ass is because she's got the furry sculpted boots, which is accurate to a comic design, but she would be able to if they weren't there. But they're there at the sort of shin. And again, just nicely done. A bit of wash in this would have brought out the detail, but that is a minor complaint. She isn't wearing heels or anything like that. She has ankle rocker and pivot. Now, it does limit it a little bit of the fur down here, but that's, again, a small complaint in the grand scheme of things. But yeah, all in all, people, this is so nice. Before we look at accessories, just one more time looking at the shoulder, as I know that's the main event of this figure. So all 3 of these shoulders are plugged into their own ports in the shoulder area, so they all will move around 360, and as you can see, you can just sort of move them around from each other and they will just keep going around. So yeah, you just got to move them all out the way, but they all got the 360 hinge, bicep swivel, etc. And they've all got the sort of, I can stick them all up as well, like they all go up to 90. Just again, you just got to keep the arms out the way of each other, but they've all got the rotation there. So yeah, all of them come up to 92. So yeah, again, like you can get 2 of them down the side, 2 of them out the front, then you just rotate the shoulder so you can get the 2 of them going higher. And yeah, just lots of range here. You're gonna have fun with this one for sure. And even though like there's so much like extra weight with the upper torso and it's on a ball joint, it's still sturdy enough to hold its position no matter where it goes. So let's check out the accessories. First, she comes with 2 interchangeable hands. Now, she's got 6 arms, so you can use these wherever you like. She only has 1 chrome arm, though, that currently has a fisted hand. So now you can swap that out to a weapon holding hand. And then this other one is just a gesturing hand you can use in any of the other 5. 6 arms, you're going to need 6 weapons to hold. So here we have 4 of these swords here. Now, all of these are exactly the same. Now, I'm not going to get every single sword in my Marvel Legends collection out to do a comparison. I'm sure we have seen these before. We've got a brown handle with some detail down there, and then otherwise it is just a silver blade all the way up to the top. So yeah, we get 4 of these swords. We get this other weapon, which I'm sure we have seen before with maybe Angela. Now, part of Spiral's ability is she can sort of manifest different types of blades and weapons in her hands. So this sort of works, but again, I guess it's reuse, but I'm absolutely fine with it in all gold. And then this last one is a gold sword with a brown handle. Again, I am assuming we have seen this before, but you'll have to tell me in the comments where anywhere from. Again, maybe Angela, but it is nice, all enough. But again, we needed 6 weapons. Let's get them all in our hands. Pow! And there we have Spiral holding all 6 of her weapons. I've swapped out the fisted hand in the cybernetic arm for a gripping one, so she can hold all 6 of them. And you can even see with the added weight of not just the arms, but now the weapons, she still stands on her own 2 feet, no problems at all. So these thicker, pinless legs definitely make a difference. But look how good she looks wielding all these weapons. And this is just in a generic pose. Wait until the ACBA community get a hold of this. She's undoubtedly going to be a lot of fun to pose up on the shelf for sure. And yeah, no wonder she's won loads of fights with the Avengers and X-Men. With 6 arms, all weapon wielding, she can teleport. Yeah, she's impressive. Another look at the hands all holding the weapons. Remember, they all have an up and down hinge as well, so she can hold the sword and bear the sword how she wishes. Yeah, look at this. So good, people. And again, if you've got other weapons in your Marvel Legends sort of accessories box, then she can hold whatever you want her to hold. And yeah, she's going to have lots of options for display, undoubtedly. I forgot to show off the little bit of yellow there on her chest, which is part of her character design. But I was just so excited by the arms. But there you go. Look at her. So good. Let's do some comparisons. Look at that. Most females can't cross their arms with 1 set of hands, and this girl can do it with 2. Crazy. First comparison, of course, had to be this fat bastard. It is the deluxe Mojo from the Mojo World box set. And we were all curious why Spiral was missing from that set. But now we know they had other plans. But I am happy they managed to get her out. Because for me, these 2 will pair up nicely on the display. They're going to take up some real estate, but it's going to be worth it. Because there'll always be a pair in my mind. Remember, she is Mojo's enforcer. She is a slave to the Mojoverse. At one point, she was banished to Earth and some of her powers were taken away. She's been a part of some other teams, but for me, these 2 just make sense and they look great and scale great together on the display. So good to end the year with these 2 in the collection. Next up, we have the other 2 figures from that Mojo World box set. It is, of course, Longshot and the upgraded Dazzler. Now, remember, Longshot is the whole reason that Rita got caught in this paradox of turning into Spiral in the first place. So they've got a weird, complicated relationship in the comics, but they definitely pose nicely together as well. And remember, we have got a different Longshot in this retro wave I will review shortly too. Spiral also has a complicated relationship with the X-Men. She has battled them on many an occasion. So here we have 2 of them, Wolverine and Psylocke. And remember, Spiral is the whole reason that Betsy Braddock got trapped into the Asian body and is Psylocke in the first place. She's also got the cybernetic eyes, so Mojo can spy on the X-Men. So yeah, these 2 definitely have a more awkward relationship than the others. Here we have Spiral compared to the Reavers. We've got Skullbuster, Bonebreaker, and Lady Deathstrike. Now, there was a time in the comics where the Reavers would go to Spiral for their cybernetic sort of upgrades, but I think that got retconned for Donald Pierce, but it definitely happened. Now, when Spiral was on Earth, she did join up with a couple of other teams, including the Brotherhood of Mutants spin-off. Here we have Pyro and Mystique, who I believe was in that team as well, but I can't remember the name. You let me know in the comments below. Here we have the Jim Lee Cyclops and Jean Grey, a couple of different body types with Vulcan and Darwin. As I said, Spiral's took on the Avengers before as well, and she even beat Iron Man on 1-to-1 combat. So here we've got Captain America and Modular Iron Man. And then the only other figure I've reviewed in this retro X-Men wave so far with Dark Phoenix. Go and check out my review for that after you've watched this one. And to wrap up, here we have Frogman, Tigra and White Rabbit. And last but absolutely never least, here we have Captain Britain and Bombastic Hank. Final thoughts on this Marvel Legends retro X-Men wave Spiral. What can I say? I think this is an epic action figure. What an accurate recreation from page to plastic in action figure form of such an awkward character design with Spiral. I think this is a beautiful representation of her character in figure form. It has to be better than the other one. I don't even have it, but I'm telling you right now, it is an upgrade. How can it not be? This is completely pinless. All the arms are double jointed. They move move freely and independently from each other. She can hold her own weight, including the weapons. We get 6 weapons for all of her hands. All of her hands can hold and have the right hinges for the swords. The face is nicely executed. The paint details are nice. Honestly, people, I ain't got nothing to complain about with this. I am very happy to add this version of Spiral to my X-Men collection. She is going to go right next to Mojo on the shelf. In my mind, she's always been a funny, quirky character as she has to do these weird dances to teleport around, but she's a formidable foe for both the X-Men and some of the Avengers she's come across, and I'm very happy to finally add this character to my collection. So you let me know what you think in the comments below. Did you have the other one? Are you excited about this one? Always curious to hear your thoughts, and if you like Marvel Legends, then you're in the right place. Check out the videos tab, find the playlists, but most importantly, please hit that subscribe button, hit all on the notification bell, don't miss out on a video, and please hit that join button, become a channel member, either show some love or join the members club. Much appreciated. You can follow me on Instagram at itsdanwho, and I'm on Twitter as well. Tweet me, don't be shy, at danwhoreviews. And until next time, people, my name is Dan W, and I will of course see you on the next one.